All right, Leo. Beautiful. They're actually very beautiful cards, but some of you are needing to slow down. Slow down and remember that you're not alone in whatever you're doing right now. So from Wisdom of the Oracle, breathe, and then from Hidden Realms, the Sacred Union, partnership and romance. Now with breathe, again, right, slow down and chill out, but it's saying that now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. It says, stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. But with the Sacred Union, we're talking about you and someone else, or possibly you and your connection with Spirit. Regardless, this is a reminder that you're not alone. That Spirit is always listening and is always by your side, helping you co-create your greatest desires and manifest your destiny. And then it says that the Sacred Union also represents the coming together of all kinds of harmonious alliances, friendship, family, business, and of course, romance. No matter what the form, the message pertains to the value of partnership and reminds you to observe the gifts bestowed upon you by this Sacred Union. And then it says that this is a very positive omen, which is perfect. All right, Leo. Here's your overall for the week. The Knight of Swords. You know, and again, right? Slow down. Slow down. What the hell are you doing? The Knight of Swords. You know, yeah, this could be about direct, harsh communication. But if we're talking about action, this is taking immediate action without really thinking. You know, but we'll see here. You know, a lot of times when I look at the Knight of Swords, right, we're talking about a feeling of conviction when moving forward. But, you know, it's harsh to me. Like I've always said with the Knight of Swords, he doesn't give a shit what anybody else has to say. He's got something to say, and that's it. You're going to listen, and then he's gone. Done. I've said what I needed to say, and I'm done. Now, it could be that some of you are needing to get up and move here to get out of a situation or to take control of a situation, but we'll see. Now, in the past, the Fool. The Fool is the past for me immediately says that this is about something that you've quickly jumped into, you know, but it doesn't have like a Knight of Wands type of feel. You know, it's like, and I don't think that there's any reason to regret jumping into something, but I still feel like there isn't a lot of thought being put into what you're getting involved with, you know, which may be why we're looking at the Knight of Swords now. The other thing, though, too, is if you're jumping into something, the Knight of Swords is like, you got to follow it through. You have to follow this through. You know, and maybe some of you are needing to do that now. In the present, the Five of Wands. All right. So, you know, jumping headfirst into something and then dealing with, you know, conflict, misunderstandings. It's not that bad, though, with the Five of Wands. You know, if we're talking about, especially with partnerships in the present moment, you may be butting heads with someone, you know, but we'll see. But even if that is the case with the Knight of Swords, somebody is like all out direct about, you know, what the truth is, what's going on, what needs to be done, and that's it, you know. Future conditions, the Star. You know, and that's not, looking at all of it, it may be up to you to kind of get control over a situation. There may be things that you didn't think about jumping into this. No matter what we're talking about here, relationship, work, doesn't matter. I still think it's going to be, especially with the Oracle cards, about you and another person. Possibly working on something together here. But, you know, you're jumping into something here. You're moving into the Five of Wands where there's a lot of butting heads, you know, nobody's seeing eye to eye type of feeling, right? It'd be like looking at the Two of Cups in reverse. But I feel like it's up to you with that Knight of Swords to kind of get control. But when you do, no matter how harsh you have to be, looking at the Star, there's healing. There's hope, the healing going with the flow, right? There still needs to be follow through. Absolutely. But the Star would suggest that, you know, once you get past this, things are going to start to calm down. I don't know. I feel a little uneasy about it. But at the same time, like, it's not that bad. Like, I feel okay. But shaky a little bit almost. All right, your best path to follow, the Six of Swords. So one of the things that I talk about with the Six of Swords is, yeah, it is about moving on from difficult situations, needing to move on from something. But it doesn't necessarily suggest that we're leaving a situation. It's more about leaving the conflict behind, whatever conflict you're facing within something that you're dealing with. Now, for some of you, I look at this and think that there's no point. There's no point in you getting involved with whatever is going on here with the Five of Wands. There's no point in getting wrapped up in this, pettiness. But it's going to be up to you to kind of move away from the conflict that's surrounding a situation. But I think that you didn't think about it moving into this. But I feel like this is more about you. I kind of get the feeling that, even if we're talking about with the sacred union showing up, you and another person in a relationship, whatever that relationship is, I still think that the star is for you, not necessarily you and another person, if that makes sense. And I say that because of the Knight of Swords, because I still feel like this is kind of where you're at, or what you feel like you need to do. But I still think that you're going to have to follow this through. It would have been different had this been the Eight of Cups, right? But your advice here is saying that there's no point in getting involved with this. You need to follow this through because you already made the leap. In your environment, the Ten of Wands, and that's why it's, you're taking on way too much. And that may be where, the pettiness and the conflict is coming through. Now, for some of you, absolutely, with the Knight of Swords, it may be that there may be like this pettiness and misunderstanding with the Five of Wands because you're not being very clear about what's weighing on you, looking at the Ten of Wands. And it may be that the only way to create healing for yourself is to just like word vomit almost. Like, boom, here it is. I'm not really worried about your response, but I need to be done with this because I don't want to be involved anymore. Right? There's no point in you doing this anymore. But I do feel like, especially with all of this here, that it is going to be about some communication that needs to come out. Now for some of you, you may have jumped into something and you've taken on way too much, right? And the conflict would be nobody else is doing shit. But I don't know. I feel like this is something that needs to be said. Like, you need to release this in order to get to the star. Your hopes and your fears, the Two of Wands. They're, I think for you, if we're looking at the Two of Wands in terms of the action that you're going to take, you may be fearing that, your plan here is not like the best way to go. There could be two different ways that you could handle this situation, right? But does it come down to a point where you kind of get forced to just, blah, here it is. I can't carry this anymore. Here it is. I need to go through, my own healing here and look at the bigger and better here with the star. I kind of look at that and I feel that's kind of where I'm feeling that iffy, kind of like shaky feeling. Now for some of you, it may be that you have something planned, something else planned that you're wanting to do, but you may have to follow this through until this burden is released before you can even work on something else or make the choice to take a different path. But then I also feel like, there are two different ways that you could handle this situation, but eventually what you end up doing, it doesn't matter because you're still leading to this place of healing for you, being like washed clean almost, once you release all of this, right? But it's like you have to do this in order to get away from this because there's no point. Wow, Leo, the hell. And then, and then coming out, and there you are with strength. Needing to have the strength to say what needs to be said, rather than keeping it on your back. None of this is bad. It's just, I don't feel like there's any regret. Like, I don't feel like there's any regret in terms of you jumping into something with the Fool kicking this off. I just think that you're tired of, the pettiness and the misunderstanding. But the only way that that's going to be cleared up for you is if you just say it. You just need to say it. Is what I feel like. Just you know, let it out, say what needs to be said, but you're still trying to find the strength to do this. You know, but like I said, it's eventually going to lead to the star. You know, that is your future conditions, but to me, it's like it's only based on whether or not you have the strength to open up and speak. And then the King of Pentacles, you know, and it may be that some of you just aren't willing to give anything anymore though either. You know, it's not the Four of Pentacles, but I kind of get that feeling. All right, so first of all, the Ten of Cups with the Fool. This is you jumping into something because we're talking about overall happiness here, something that you think is going to bring you this, you know, emotional fulfillment and abundance, right? Being completely happy. And again, right, you have the union that's happening. So for some of you, it could be about a family situation, something that, you know, you're dealing with a partner, a family member. But the whole reason why you jumped on this is because you thought it was going to bring you that, you know, happily ever after, so to speak. The Page of Swords, and this is what I'm talking about. There is something that I think is on you. There is something on you that you need to say, but the reason why you're dealing with this like pettiness and misunderstanding is because you're not being forthright with all the information with the Page of Swords. I don't think it's about you needing to find anything out, because you wouldn't be in the Ten of Wands if that were the case. The Page of Swords, again, it's naive energy, right? Now, a lot of people will describe this the same as the Knight of Swords. You know, and that's not wrong, but my interpretation is different because we're talking about somebody who doesn't know how to process the information that's being given to them. Again, because of the naive energy. They could use this information however they want to use it. But what I feel like is that that is you only telling half the story, which is why there's this pressure being built up on you when, you know, the conversation starts to come up and it's like, blah, here it is. I can't hold on to this anymore. So, you know, there may be some things that are coming out, but it's not in a high priestess type of way. It may be in a way where somebody is going to be looking at you as the Page of Swords. Now, coming out with the King of Pentacles, and I don't think that this is a spy situation or somebody talking shit. I don't think that that's it. The King of Pentacles coming out has this feeling to me of you, definitely. Now, you may be dealing with an earth sign, male, female, doesn't matter to me. But I feel like once you grab your strength, you get to a place where I think some of you feel a little bit better about using your resources to help you. And again, like I feel like it's you. And it's not that, you know, you're trying to break up with anybody here, but I feel like, I'm sorry guys, like you're looking for some kind of independence almost. You know, like you have what you need to do it. But you're going to have to come out and say something. You're going to have to find the strength to say what's been weighing on you. Now, you know, this may be the person that you're needing to say it to. And absolutely, right? Like some of you could be dealing with, you know, a partnership here where somebody's not being open and honest. But the thing is you know, you wouldn't be the Ten of Wands. I feel like there's something that you need to say to someone. I don't think that they have a clue. And I think that every time that the communication happens, it ends up this way, which is why you need to come in like hot almost with the information. Like, boom, here it is. But it creates that kind of healing and hope for you and hope for continued happiness with that Ten of Cups showing up, right? But we can't deal with the conflict anymore. We can't deal with, you know, information being withheld. But I still feel like with that King of Pentacles coming out, you know, whether or not this is the person we're talking about, I think it's you, you know, not wanting to give any more until information has been processed, if that makes sense. And then purpose. So new growth. There is the opportunity for new growth here, but you need to surrender. You need to surrender to, you know, what you need to say. Surrender to, you know, the path that you could take here in terms of saying what you need to say to release the burden in order for you to move on to bigger and better. But purpose, what was the purpose of this, right? What is the purpose in your communication? You know, if you want to surrender to new growth, you also have to surrender to there's a reason why this is happening. But you also have to be open to just like word vomit. You know, that's what I get from that more than anything. And then rainbow blessings, nice. Blessings are showering your life. So perfect. And that to me goes right along with new growth, right? There are some blessings here, but you need to see the bigger picture. So this may be something that you need to do in order to take a different path with the Two of Wands, right? Because the hope there would be that you get to create your world the way that you choose, but you've got to take the action. But before you can do that, like I said, I think some of you are just needing to let go of something. But there are blessings that I don't think that you're aware of. It's only when you get the bigger picture that you'll see that. But it's not bad, Leo. You know, but I think that for a lot of you, it's just so that you can get to a place where, you know, you feel independent. Like I keep getting that from the King of Pentacles. You can't give anything anymore until information has been processed, but then you need to know for sure. It's like you need to know for sure that you'll be able to take the path that you've been wanting to take.